Right, we are back at Mallory Park just for the Sunday. Weather is good, bit cooler than yesterday. It was red hot yesterday, but a bit cooler today, a bit more of a wind, but we're not going to argue with that. There's only 5 or 6 of us actually doing a practice, the ones that weren't here yesterday, because there was a few incidents and we only got one timed run. So the organisers have said we want to try and get you as many as possible, so only the ones that weren't here yesterday need to do practice, which is good for me because it gets you eyeing. So we'll take it steady in practice and then we'll go full on attack from the beginning. There's a few areas looking at the videos from last year that I can neaten up and perfect, but 80% of it is just foot to the floor flat out. So let's see how we get on. Definitely tons of grip there. Happy enough with that. Yeah, definitely rackety, but 85.4, we'll settle for that to start with. Quickest last year was 84 point something, so we're only a second slower. Not bad for practice. Let's keep attacking. We'll give it full beans on the first timed run. GoPro, stop recording. Right, we're coming down for timed run 1. Let's see what we can do. So an 85 in practice, 84 is my time from last year, that's the first target. 83.2 is the target time for the championship, which is about a second and a half quicker than last year. It may be achievable, it may not. We're going to push and give it everything. Conditions are great, as I said earlier. We've got the better tyres on. We shouldn't have any issues like we had last year with overheating or anything, so let's just give it everything and see what we can do. 90.1, it's definitely not 90, I know that much. I think that's the wrong time. Oh, that's the guy before me. Definitely not 90. We'll see what time it is. Yeah, the brakes, they need some warming up. Going into that first chicane, the flat cold and it's not stopping. Definitely need some warming up if I can. Right, coming down for time run 2 just before lunch. So the last one was an 83.26, I think. Target is an 83.22, I think. So we are 4/100ths off, something like that anyway. It's very close. We just need to shave some more off, as always. Can we do it on this one? The grip's there, conditions are there. We're quicker than last year, we're a second and a half quicker than last year already. Just need to push it that bit more. There is a lot of people going off though, so yeah, don't want to push it too much, but let's see if we can neaten up that chicane still. Yeah, the chicane are still, I can't get the brakes up to temperature, so I'm going in too fast, which means I'm not hitting the first apex. So it's compromising my line in, not so much out, but the line in. So I'll definitely be quicker if I can brake that slight bit earlier and nail that first curb. So let's try and do that on this one, see if it'll shave a bit of time off, and then flat out everywhere else. Around that last corner, I kept feathering it slightly. That's wrong again. 87.5. You can go nanas. I think the times are completely wrong. Fingers crossed, let's see what it is. But yeah, I could have kept it planted in hindsight, but it's just hard when you're in the car at 90 miles an hour around a corner. You just feel the back end twitching slightly. But yeah, the grip's definitely there. Let's have lunch and then give it another full-on attack after lunch. Time run 3, so we managed an 82 point something in that one, so mission kind of accomplished. Can we do any better? Can we get an 81? I mean, that would be just superb if we could. But there's not much more we can give, but we can, as always, shave something off. So yeah, bet the target times for both the championships. There was only 2 of us in class, and unfortunately Howard, the other guy, has blown his gearbox, so there's only me in class. So I'm not actually really competing against anyone but other than myself. So we've bet last year's time, we've bet the target time. Can we go any quicker? Let's just give it everything and see if we can. The main issue is the brakes. Like I say, at the end of this first long bend, braking for that chicane, the brakes need a bit of heat to get to optimal temperature, and braking from like 110 down to 40 with no heat in them whatsoever is not working. But there's nothing else I can do. There's no, I can't warm them up in the pit lane. Obviously here we're only going a few miles an hour, so yeah, we'll just give it everything and see what comes out. The timing at the finish line, everybody, it's a completely random figure it gives you. Everybody's just getting a figure, and then when the times update, it updates to a different time. So not sure what's happening with the timing at the finish, but all the ones that once it updates on the official like live timing app, they're all correct and no one's really disputing them. So right, off we go. Second time round Gerrard's. Yeah, I had to take some off because I was just drifting out wide. I was carrying too much speed trying to go for it, so lost a bit of momentum there, but other than that we were flat out. So let's see if we got any off. Right, timed run 4. I got disqualified on the last one. Me no happy. Apparently I put 2 wheels on the grass at the chicane, which I did, but you're not allowed to do that. Now I always thought the rule was 4 wheels off, and as long as you've got 2 wheels on the tarmac, you're all right, which everywhere else you are. But apparently at Mallory, I can't even say it, Mallory Park, they don't like you putting wheels on the grass and cutting the chicane, and you always run the risk of being disqualified. So I have been. We'll look at the footage. I mean, there was only a wheel's width on the grass, but they were on the grass, so by the by, I don't know, I may dispute it or not because it was quicker. Going on the stopwatch, because I've got no official time, it was 81.8. So let's give it everything on this one. I'm on dregs of fuel. Let's stick to the rumble strips of the chicane and not go on the grass at all to run at any risk whatsoever, and just see if we can put one together and finish with a new PB. issues again. Well, we get one more run. Let's hope the gears play up. Don't play up. Right, back from Mallory Park. Bit of a mixed bag this week. So normally I've had 3-4 weekends of like perfect conditions, performance, overall results, and then a bit more back to reality on this one with problems with the gearbox that we've had before. Bit of a up and down mixed bag times. Overall, pretty happy because we were 2 seconds in front of last year's time. So last year's time we only actually got 2 runs. This year on the Sunday, fortunately we got 6. So we'll start with that. On the Saturday, they only got 1 timed run. So there was a couple of big incidents, and I think one needed hospitalisation. So yeah, the guys that were just doing the Saturday got very short-changed money-wise, but we made up for it on the Sunday, with the organisers obviously wanting to try and pay back the lack of running. So we got 6 timed runs in the end. The camera died after 4, so I only actually captured the first 4. We started with a 83.2 in timed run 1, which was a second quicker than last year. So straight out of the box, a second up. Then we continued with T2, pushed a bit more and got an 82.3, which bet the target time for the 2 championships that was doing for this one. So yeah, happy days. And then timed run 3, I thought, right, now's the time, let's go all in, let's see if we can get an 81. So that was the ultimate aim for the day. Unofficially it was an 81.8 on the stopwatch, but I never got an official time because I got disqualified. When I asked about it, it was potentially because I put 2 wheels on the grass at the chicane, which I'll show you on the video. I mean, I'm not questioning that. I did put 2 wheels on the grass, but the other 2 wheels were well and truly on the tarmac. Apparently they don't like you trying to cut the chicane too much, so you always run the risk of disqualification if you do, although it was very unclear. It was never told to us at the start, at the driver's briefing, what you could or couldn't do. So I took it from there that my best run got disqualified. It's always the case. And I thought, right, we've got another run at least to try and beat that. So on to run 4, and then the dreaded it wouldn't go into gear struck yet again after 2 or 3 years of gear issues. Normally the clutch, it reared its ugly head again and wouldn't go into 4th. So now 4th's a problem gear. A couple of years ago it was 3rd. I had the gearbox rebuilt and 3rd and 6th synchros replaced. I think now I need 2nd and 4th synchros replacing if they're available. Can't do that till the end of the year. I'm not doing it midway through the season. I've got lots of events coming up. So luckily a lot of events don't use 4th. All the shorter events and the hill climbs, it's normally just 2nd and 3rd in my car. So we will get away with it till the end of the year, and then I'll have to see if I want to strip the gearbox again or check the clutch out again as well. But it's alright if it's cool. It's just when the car's hot and the gearbox is hot, that's when I start having issues, and I try changing it to higher RPM. Keep the car cool and short shifting it, it should be alright, fingers crossed. So that run were ruined. We're on to run 5, and I thought, right, I'll let the car cool down. We'll have a steady lap, 9 out of 10 again, and just make sure all the gears are fine and there's nothing more untoward happening. So I actually did another 82.3, so equaled my best time for the day, and that just felt like 9/10, so I wasn't even pushing. So on the last one I decided on run 6, the final run, right, we're all in, let's just absolutely sling it in there and get this 81, and 99% certain I was on for at least an 81 when I slung it into Gerard's, the final bend, probably 5 miles an hour faster than any previous run. The back end said no. Managed to just catch it. I was into a massive drift stroke power slide and heading for the grass. Managed to save it about an inch away from the grass. If I'd hit the grass, I could have been having a big accident, but just managed to hold on. I've put a link on my Facebook page for the Pescara Productions clip of it, but I'm sure if you YouTube Pescara Productions, there's a full video of the day, and I'm sure it'll be on there. But yeah, so finished off with an 84. I mean, even after that moment, I was still as quick as last year. So overall, slightly disappointed that I didn't get an 81. Slightly disappointed that the bloody car wasn't 100%, but we bet last year's time by 2 seconds, so you know, I can't be really down. So we go to Kerbra next week, which is nearly all second gear, to be honest, and a couple of thirds, so it should be fine. And we'll attack Kerbra Saturday and Sunday, and let's see if we can get new PB there as well. All right, thank you.